Declan, we have sellers with deals stuck in Q4, and we have sellers really interested in taking their game to a whole new level. Let's talk a little bit about the coaching that we can offer them to address both these challenges. Talk to me about our deal coaching master clinics, where you actually work on specific deals with sellers and the benefit and the value that can be offered to sellers through those sessions.
Okay, look, loved it. So the deal clinics are about bringing real deals, and we strategize and we move it with coming from the inside of the buying experience, which I have. Because although buying gets complicated and it changes, and you've often heard me say that, there's two questions we need to ask the customer. One, should they do the deal? Two, how should we structure the deal? This deal clinic helps you deal with that. Even in Q4, the buying process in Q4 is different than it is in other parts of the year. So that's what this is about. Give you an example of impact. Last year, I had over 300 deals come through the deal clinics with revenue of 2.3 billion. This stuff works. I'm going to give you one quick example of where we took a deal that was stuck and we were able to move it quite quickly. So this was a deal where this was a cloud deal. The seller was pushing the customer to buy something which they wanted to buy, but that he wanted a 5-year commitment to this. It was a 5-year commitment to this spend. Customer was going, we can't do this. They brought it to me. This is 6 weeks stuck. They brought it to me and said, here's the deal. How can we convince the customer to go for the 5-year option? I sat down, we had a look, we strategy, we did a bit of research, and I went, we can't. It's the wrong thing for them to do. This is a customer who is what we call a digital native. They were about to go IPO or launch up to the stock exchange by the end of that year. I said, they can't. If you do that, it will go onto their balance sheet as a long-term liability, and it will have a negative impact on the share price that gets calculated as they launch onto the stock exchange, thereby taking a lot of money out of the pockets of the people in the IPO. I said, they can't do it. They said, well, then what can we do? I said, give them what they need. They need a 1-year deal. But 1 year, okay, what else could you do? I give them a 1-year deal with the option to interrupt that deal once they go IPO and sign a longer term 5-year deal with much better terms, conditions, pricing, discounts, etc. All of that wonderful stuff in. So that's what we landed on as a strategic approach to move this deal. They went back to the customer. Customer bit their hand off. Couldn't get this thing signed quick enough. So something that was stuck for 6 weeks, all of a sudden was signed and closed out within 2 weeks.
Beautiful. And it's so often that it's the structure, as you say, of the deal itself that prevents the client being able to move by. And so bringing that buyer perspective that you have to help reps really think about what they might do to alter the structure and therefore accelerate how things move through.
It is. And it's slightly more nuanced than that, insofar as you can be talking to one part of the business who just wants to get in the service, the product, the solution that you're selling. But when they go and push that into their internal buying process, it gets hit by other stakeholders.
Yeah.
So you have to structure the deal right from the off to enable it to navigate through that buying process much quicker.
Yeah, and support the customer with that internal sale.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's our deal coaching clinics. The other element of coaching that we're going to be offering to sellers is performance coaching. What do we mean by that? It means helping you set a new standard for your performance as a seller. Now that means having initially an understanding of where you're at today, and we're going to look particularly in terms of your levels of resilience, things like mental strength, emotional intelligence, and the other aspects of resilience. And then getting you to imagine a desired future state, where you want to be at as a seller, where you want to take your game to. We will then identify the gap and help you rapidly close that gap. So if you're looking to take your game to a whole new level, to set a new standard in terms of your performance as a seller, the performance coaching will support you through that process, and the deal coaching will get down to the specifics of individual deals that you may be struggling to move quickly as you'd like through the process. So folks, that's what we're offering, and we're going to talk more about all of this on the 11th of October at our free webinar. Sign up for it in the comments below. And Declan, looking forward to having more conversations with you on the 11th.
Looking forward. We'll have a little bit of fun if nothing else.
Exactly.
All right.